All right, listen, I'm so excited. We're going to have Judy Gold today. She's a comedian, and also she was judge on one of the food shows, and she was a participant, so she knows food. And I want her to try it. Let's do chicken tenders, let's do kung pao, let's do pepper steak, and our new rollatini, okay? So let's do it.
Good morning, everyone, from the Lower East Side of Manhattan, 123 First Avenue, the best address you can ever have. We're here at the Organic Grill. I'm Eddie Brill. I'm here with my friend Vlad Grinberg.
Hey, guys.
And my friend Judy Gold.
Hi.
And we're going to have a nice morning together at the Organic Grill with OG Talk. OG standing for Organic Grill. So happy that you came down here. You live.
Thanks so much.
Oh, you see the.
Oh, nice apron.
Wait till we finish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some surprises in
Very
store.
excited. Is this my camera?
Which one? Yeah, all right, that's pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah. And actually, you get to take it home with you, which is,
Oh,
you know,
excellent.
yeah. Every guest.
Because I need more clutter in my apartment.
You're still in the same place for a very long time.
Please. I have lived in my apartment since 1989.
Right. You beat me by a year. I've been in 1990 in my place.
Really?
The same clutter.
It's
clusterfuck.
And the kids, you know, are now 23 and 18. Wow. I have one bathroom. One of my kids is 6'8".
Right.
6'8", wow.
Yeah. The other one.
That's his name.
Yeah, 6'8".
Oh, yeah.
Ben is 6'8". Henry lives with me. He's 23. I can't even open the door to their room. It's so disgusting. And I've noticed, and I've asked people in the audience this. All right, don't eat during this one. But I'll come home from the road, and like the first thing I have to do is clean the fucking toilet. Like, I said.
Who are those people?
They're my. I'm like. I asked men in the audience, when you're done, do you look around to see if you got any on the floor? No. No men do not. And I literally, it's disgusting. What is wrong with you two?
Well, I'll tell you. Well, I have a nightlight.
Now he's going to explain.
When I was growing up, I raised my three brothers.
That's
They're little boys. And I, every day.
Sit.
And no, they didn't. I wish they sat. Where were you back then? And every morning I'd get up and there'd be pee all around them. There'd be three little boys worth. And I'm cleaning and scrubbing. And I vowed one day that I'd get a housekeeper because I didn't want to keep cleaning pee.
Guys,
why don't you just tell them to get it in the fucking toilet?
Because
you don't even know how excited my wife is going to be to hear this conversation because this is a conversation we have at home.
I have a nightlight now. I have a nightlight now, so when I go in the middle, I can see where I'm going. Because you know, you wake up in the middle of the night and you're peeing, you don't hear water, and you're going, I think I'm missing the bowl.
Oh God!
Wow.
Yeah, it's horrible.
We definitely giving more information that people need to know.
Yes,
right.
well,
But it's just like annoying. I'm away, and then the first thing I'm like, are you like seriously?
It's just
it's gross.
It is gross, but unless you love urine. We'll be right back.
Oh, God.
No, we're there. Unless you're urinary.
Yeah.
Well, we've known each other for more than the 29, 30 years that we've had in the apartment. And I thought of you the other day because it's that story we bring up all the time. I was doing a gig upstate and I'm driving down. I took 84 West.
Right.
And I stopped at the gas station where we lived for a night. the beautiful car that you had.
Do you remember the gas station?
Yes, I was there. I was there the other night, laughing while I was putting the gas in the car. We were driving back from Massachusetts, a gig. We crossed 84, went down 87, and all of a sudden the car stopped working. And we were cold.
I was very calm.
Oh yeah,
that's usual.
And he saw the real me.
Yeah, I did.
Like I'm a 2-year-old. I was like, oh, damn it! And I'm always blaming God. Do you do that? Like I'm like, why are you doing this to me?
I blame whoever's closest by.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
And we ended up
spending the night pretty much there, and then the morning, while everyone's going to work and happy and cheerful, you and I are like, I'll see you later.
Yeah, it was awful.
But it's a moment that brought us really close together.
I think people don't realize that being a comic and going even on one gig with someone for a week creates a bond that I can't. I mean, I know everyone's being, but it's like people who go to war and you know they're bond. Like you look at another comic like, oh my God, because when we went on the road. pre-cell phones, pre-computers. Couldn't
so
use
you use like a map?
Yeah, we used a map.
Yeah.
And we couldn't call home because it was too expensive. I have PTSD.
Yeah, I know.
Thinking about it.
What was your first
lonely.
road gig ever? Do you remember the first road gig where you slept over? I was with Wayne Cotter and Susan Jeremy, and we had so much fun. And we were up in Binghamton, New York.
Right.
And we stayed over, and it was kind of weird staying with other people.
Right.
You know, it was weird. And then Colin Quinn and Anita Wise and I started traveling together right after that. And then
like for a while?
We would work all these different
that's
gigs.
Great.
And we had so much fun. And the three of us are still the tightest friends because we lived together pretty much on the road. Do you remember the first one you did?
I don't remember. I've blocked out so much. There are certain ones that I do remember. I do remember. Remember Atlantic City? There was it was 3 floors. The condo.
Kepper,
yes.
whatever.
And I remember I was there with Billy J.
Right.
And who was the guy who won Star Search? And he was really tall and handsome.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yes. Ciccone. Mike Ciccone.
Yeah. And, you know, we stayed in these condominiums, right? And the MC would get the shitty room.
Yeah.
And the middle act, the feature act, would get the next best room. And then the headliner would get
the mansion.
So, and I remember that horrible condo.
Yeah, Bob Kephart booked that.
Yes.
There was a show I didn't ever work there, and there's a guy named Dennis Leary was on the show, and he was my friend from college, and he invited me.
Wait, let me pick up that name off the floor.
Okay. Yes.
Here we go.
Well, actually, it's right here on the on the table. Him and there was Jesse Emmett.
Oh yeah.
Okay, was on the show, and Bob Woods. And there was another guy on the show, and I don't remember his name, probably for a good reason, but he had his girlfriend with him, and I'm staying overnight in the condo as a guest to do a guest set. Well, the guy was treating his girlfriend poorly and treating her like she was shit.
Right.
And I got up and I got in between them and go, "You don't treat her like that."
Right,
and blah, blah, blah. Mr. Being really nice, and she goes, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" She was. That's how they. That was how they got passionate. They loved each other because they would fight like crazy.
Oh,
and then
so you was the reason for them to still
I helped them that,
right?
but they
weren't you like, "Yo, bitch, I'm trying to help you.
I'm trying to save you from a beating."
Right.
And that's what they wanted, unfortunately.
I'm glad you could experience that with them.
Oh, yeah.
I remember one time, I think I was in New Mexico, and
let me drop that state off the floor.
And I drive to this condo. And I walk in, and the MC is sitting at the kitchen table. He's got all his newspapers and all this food. It was like I was walking into someone's apartment. So this guy lived on the road. He just went from condo to condo.
Lived in his car.
Right. Probably, and I was like, it's just like, and I'm living with 2 guys. Thank God I'm a lesbian.
Right.
And it was just... It was hell. I'm this nice Jewish girl from New Jersey,
That should be the name of a show. Thank God I'm a lesbian.
Yeah, and it's just that it's like you want it so bad. You want that stage time so bad that you'll go anywhere and do anything and sacrifice, like holidays I missed,
right.
Birthdays on the road.
I missed my brother's wedding because I just started working.
It better be a good gig.
Yeah, I was starting to work at Letterman. I just was there like 2 weeks. And my brother decided to get married at the beginning of the week on a Tuesday.
What was he thinking?
What is married on a Tuesday?
Well, they were broke, and that's the only time.
Is he still married?
Yeah, and very happy.
Wow.
So Tuesday marriages are the key.
I might do a Tuesday marriage.
Yes. The weirdest story for me was I was sharing a condo in Appleton, Wisconsin with a guy I'd never met before, and I'm laying in the headliner room, which was a piece of shit room.
Right.
And I hear the guy jacking off in the next room, and I don't want to hear that. But the front, I didn't want to hear it, and I actually checked out of the condo and got a hotel room because it was like, and I'm sure the guy was nice, but I don't need to hear it. I know you jack off. I just don't want to hear it. That night he's hosting. He goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Brill." He puts his hand on. I'm like,
I'm good.
Yeah, and it's weird because I would shake anyone's hand, and I know that they masturbated that day, but I heard the guy, and I couldn't shake his hand.
It's such a weird situation that here you go, you're going to be living here for a week with 2 people you have.
Yeah, privacy is gone.
Well, when the days of Colin Quinn and Anita Wise and I traveling together, we loved each other. We were great, great friends. Colin and I would share the pull-out couch and let Anita have her own room because that was the way to do things. So that's why we got along so well, because we cared for each other. But a lot of times we do these road gigs, we don't know these people. I had a guy, I had a Game Boy. That's how nerdy I am.
All right,
I come home from the gig and this guy's playing my Game Boy. The weird part is it was in my room in a drawer. He went in my room in a drawer.
Oh, that's where my dildo is. I'm sorry, just kidding, guys. Come on, folks.
Because it's never in the drawer. It's right on the counter.
Yeah. It's in the kitchen. But it's a weird. Do you remember the Eddie Debashowitz gig where you went from, it was 2 weeks, 1 week in Buffalo, then a day off, then 1 week in Niagara Falls in a motel. Well, it was
Airborne
hell.
Eddie.
Airborne Eddie. Hell.
I was just talking in another podcast about working with Margaret Smith for the very first time.
Oh my God, I love Margaret. I used to open for her.
Me too. I love her. We were talking about how much you love her. And the first time was at the Comedy Trap.
Yes, Comedy Trap. I worked
on
with her.
Hurdle.
Yeah.
All right. Now this food, Vlad, tell Judy about the amazing food here.
Now I'm really sweating and nervous. I know you were 2 times on cooking show. One as a judge, right?
Well, and then I did Chopped.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I did Rachel versus Guy too.
And you know how I found it? I was like, let me prepare for this interview and let me search what food Judy likes. And then I was like, what? She was on 2 food shows? That was exciting. All right. So
that's my favorite right here.
This is Eddie's favorite Kung Pao ball, and it's cauliflower on the top. So we're just going to try everything. For you, I also want you to try those oyster mushrooms. It tastes exactly like chicken tenders, right? Those are zucchini rollatinis, and this one you're going to like. Those we call it pepper steak sandwich. So it's oyster mushrooms, peppers, and cheese that we make ourselves. It's not cheese. It's
right.
just
How
the
do you
sauce.
make cheese that?
We make it with coconut oil, and you'll love it.
And
right.
the bread?
So grab that thing and we'll get
Bread you can do anything or no?
What do you mean?
You can't use eggs in bread, right?
No, of course. It's focaccia bread, not just water and flour.
So it's pretty good.
Wow, this
stuff.
stuff
And we don't have like any, you can
this
use your hands.
So
use your hands.
amazing.
The food is amazing here. Let me have the Kung Pao so I can give to
excited.
her. I'm excited. I want to give to Judy some of this.
I love to
because it's my favorite.
Oh,
we were talking last
try
night. Judy and I were talking like at 3 in the morning or something. And
really?
I said, you're going to eat tomorrow.
So
Be
nice.
hungry. She says, I'm hungry now. And I says, I'll meet you at the diner, even though you're on the Upper West Side.
I know. I wish we lived closer.
I know. What we do, in a sense, in our hearts.
Okay, we need a spoon. I need more than
we need spoons.
Slav, can I get a spoon,
We'll get
please?
that. And we're going to eat, so feel free to wait till you.
Oh my God. You don't have to give me the 2 big pieces.
Don't worry.
You sound so much like a mom. You know, you have the big pieces.
Now you're supposed to eat if it's hot and wait if it's cold. Did you know that?
No.
Yes. So the rule is if you get your food and it's a hot dish,
you wait.
You eat.
I know.
Shut up.
I know.
Also, for any young people watching, when you are leaving a restaurant, you let the people leave before you walk in.
Oh, right. Okay? Just like the subway.
And then you say thank you when they hold the door.
Oh, wow.
That's a new thing
have like
we started. I'm so fucking. I want to write a book. I don't even care.
All right,
All right, finally we have somebody who can eat, huh?
Yes, we'll go
for
that.
Why? Who doesn't eat?
Now they're all watching how they're going to look on a camera.
I don't give a shit. Oh my God.
Nice, huh?
What comes after?
Yay!
Yay!
Oh my God.
You know, we both played the clarinet growing up. And she still plays the clarinet. You're doing a
show,
show, right?
You're a professional pianist, for what I know, right?
Well, I play piano.
Yeah, she's
good. But no,
There was a moment we wanted to bring piano here, just for you to come in.
Oh, thank you. I played clarinet in The Taming of the Shrew when I did the Shakespeare in the Park.
What a typical thing to do for Jewish girl, huh?
What's that? Play the piano, play Taming of the Shrew?
Oh, please, you have to have a...
You don't look shrewish.
Hey, now.
Hey.
Okay, it's so good.
Food is amazing here. And like if you see, it's a small little place, but packed all the time with people from all different walks of life. Not everyone's a vegan. People come in and they're like 1 a day vegans kind of thing. The food is great. So the reason I brought up the clarinet is because I wanted to talk about, we were talking about this, about how music and comedy.
You think I'm talking with this food in front of me?
I'm talking to Vlad. about how music and comedy are so interrelated.
Oh, so interrelated.
Because I'm
But
trying
I'm
to
not
get.
talking about
All right. Because I'm trying
No,
to.
I will. Now I dip this in the.
try
Now
this
what
one.
is this? I don't even want to ruin it. Look
yeah,
how good it looks like a nipple.
sriracha mayo.
Look at that. That's what my breast looks like, guys.
Weirdly enough, that's what my ass looks like.
Hey now.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're talking about music because.
Well, I think there's a lot of comics who are music. It's all about timing. Wipe that off. I really cannot take you anyway, you son of a bitch.
This is nice, huh? Crunch,
Yeah. I know. Are your kids musical? I know they're.
The basketball
All about
players,
sports.
huh?
Yeah.
So, all right.
So you play basketball too?
No. Okay, this is the thing. I can't take this food. Okay, so I loved music. We had a piano and we had, and it was just, my brother and sister took lessons. They weren't interested. And then I was like, can I take lessons? And then I was interested because, when you're 6 feet at 13, you have to have a hobby. So,
yeah, not much going on, right? So you have to have a hobby.
So,
Were you also nerdy like I was growing up?
I was so my parents were old. I'm 6 feet. I'm taller than my teachers. I got teased relentlessly. Anyway. But, so when the kids were born, I've always had a piano in my apartment. It's like, it's not a home unless there's a piano. Even when I rented a place in LA to be on a show, I rented a piano,
That's very cool.
And I'll go a long time without playing, but I have to have a piano there. Anyway, so I gave the kids lessons on the piano, not interested. Then I'm like, you have to do a musical instrument. So at one clarinet, one saxophone, not interested. And I'm like, fuck you. But then
No wonder why they're peeing on the side of the bowl.
Yeah, I know. But they're not interested at all. But I also think, all right, don't get mad at me. I think the music they listen to does not lend to I'd love to play that instrument or that, you know what I mean?
And the combination of the society not being close anymore because it's an internet world. So, when you're playing the clarinet in a symphony, you're in the middle of this incredible feeling.
And it's such an amazing thing to be part of an orchestra, to be, one voice in this land of music. I love it so much. Anyway, they're very into sports. They were always into sports. And they call me their mom and dad. And I just would take them to the park. We would have impromptu baseball games, but I really took them to play basketball. Because I love basketball, and Ben was always gigantic, and Henry loved basketball, and and now Ben's going to play college basketball. And
I know, I see all the photos. He's
and
amazing.
Henry is.
What's Henry doing?
He works at a comedy club. I don't know how he got the job.
Yeah.
And he, I don't know. I think he'll be an agent because you can't win an argument with him.
Wonder where he got
so
that.
you definitely have a long career.
Yeah, he didn't get that from me.
He's gonna have at least one client.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, my son's a comic, as you know, and it's so interesting that's how DNA works.
Crazy sandwich, you'll love it.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I'm not enjoying this at all.
Yeah, the food.
But it is, I go hear jazz a lot, and that to me is the sister genre. I said genre?
Yeah.
Everyone genre with my French accent, genre?
No, I heard a Sun Ra, but genre?
No. That is the sister genre. I'm sorry, I have to eat, sorry.
It's okay.
That is the sister genre of comedy. I mean, you go hear a jazz, there's a melody, and then
there's ad-libbing.
There's ad-libbing, and the connection. Like, if you watch it's so amazing how they connect. They know when okay, your turn. All right, let's go back.
They feel the rhythm of the room like comics do.
I'm so happy to hear that you actually enjoy music, because when I look through your career, and you were like a typical Jewish girl who taking lessons and got a degree in music. I was like, man, they were just preparing her for a regular life, and I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I thought that it was forced in your throat.
They wanted me to be a music teacher, and
How did that turn out?
It really turned out well. Treble clef bass clef.
Well, you know, one time I was doing this room, and I was really nervous because we did like an hour and a half. I had to do an hour and a half for this gig, and I called a friend of mine who got me the gig. An hour and a half. I was in Europe too, and I'm thinking, I don't have 45 minutes that I can do in Europe. The guy goes, it's like the jazz club of comedy.
Where was this in Europe? I'm putting my peppers back on.
Okay. Yeah, it was in Paris. It was a club called the Hotel du Nord, and it was the best club in the world. It's unfortunate that it closed down the place. But so the comedian who got me the gig said, I was really nervous. I had quit smoking when I heard I had to do an hour and a half. I was like smoking.
Wow.
My girlfriend at the time said, let's go to the Louvre. And I said, no, I'm going to write an act. So anyway, he said it's like the jazz club for comics. He said, you just go there and you ad-lib for the first 45 minutes and then do your act in the second. Well, I ad-libbed the beginning, and all of a sudden, an hour later, I was like, oh my God, an hour
I forgot to do my act.
Yeah.
So you're just talking to the crowd?
Just talking to the crowd.
I did a crowd work show the other night, just for myself. So fun.
Yeah. Well, you were always great with crowd work from the beginning.
And you know, when I emceed a lot in the beginning because I wanted to get as much stage time as possible, which is a thankless job and the most important job on the show.
The most important job.
And people, these clubs hire, by the way, unbelievable. People hire, you know, not shitty comics, but newer comics.
The least experienced comics.
And remember at Catch a Rising Star, the MC was the star of the show. And it was like, here's my guests.
Right, the same in Boston. They would have the headliner open with 20 minutes. They'd bring up all the comics, and then they do 25 to close. That would be that. Well, you know, while we're eating, we're going to take a break.
No!
So we can eat a little bit. And then when we come back, I want to talk about the stuff that you're doing now, which has been amazing. So,
should I put that on here?
No.
No.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back.
All right, I was trying something.
Hello, I'm Lauren Evans from OG Talk's News You Can Use, and today I'm here to highlight the Wild Bird Fund, which is a rescue organization located on the Upper West Side. Their primary function is an animal hospital, essentially, that is great for all of the over 600 species of wild animals living in New York City. This is a place where they can come to be safely rehabilitated anytime they get an injury such as a window strike or poisoning. They also rescue the wild pigeons of New York City, which is the underrated mascot of New York. They were originally brought over from Europe in the 1600s, and the New York City buildings emulate the cliffs where they were natively found. Thank you very much. I'm Lauren Evans with OG Talk, and back to you.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We're just enjoying the food. It's so good, and I'm so glad that you like it. This is vegan food.
Wait,
have you been to a vegan restaurant before?
Yeah, unfortunately. Now,
this is zucchini.
But this cheese tastes like ricotta cheese.
Yeah, that's tofu ricotta.
Oh my God, I can't take it.
So you said unfortunately because the thinking is.
And we make it here too.
The thinking is.
I would come here like every day.
Yeah.
You will.
Yeah.
No,
that's
I'm not
part of a package that you're taking home.
Yes, you're gonna be able to.
Really?
Yes.
Do I get more of that?
Yes.
Sure. No, not right this second.
Yeah,
yes.
to go.
Oh my God, the food here, I'm not kidding.
Oh, you know what I want to talk about? I was talking about ageism and stuff, but what about late night television has changed so much in the last bunch of years?
Oh my God. Oh, thank you. Vlad is so cute and happy.
I knew you would love him. I knew you guys would. I knew you guys would love each other. I'm serious. I'm not joking.
Like his face is. Oh, I just spit on you. Sorry.
It's all right. I like your.
His face
I have
is a
some at
smile.
home.
Look at it. It's like a natural resting smile.
Before you guys, we did this, Vlad was like, I can't wait to meet Judy. And the last night when I was talking to Judy, I said, wait till you meet Vlad. I knew you guys would get along. I'm only sitting in the middle because I want to get the spit from both of you.
Okay, wait.
All right, late night hosting.
So
now it's the Jimmys and the Colbert's.
What's interesting to me, you know, I just wrote a book.
Yes.
That's coming out in July, but
called.
Yes, I can say that.
Yep.
And when they come for the comedians, we're all in trouble. And it's really about freedom of speech from the perspective of a comedian. And I go through this. I mean, I just go through, why are we getting vilified, you know, for trying to tell a joke? You know, like a comedian's only goal when they get on stage is to make the audience laugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think is going on?
I think, well, first of all, it's the left. It's also the right, but it's the left.
Yeah.
It's we're going to take a word and we're going to be insulted by that word and not hear anything else. So the context,
nobody's talking
nuance,
truth,
and intent. What is the intent of the comedian? What are they trying to say? Never gets heard because we live in this 140 character, you know, I really believe one of my chapters is entitled "Fuck You, Mark Zuckerberg," because we can't.
You love it, huh?
But it's like we cannot do our job unless there's an audience. So we're not painting, we're not writing music, we're not. So even if you're vilified by the public, Kathy Griffin, Louis C.K., there's so many. Okay, even if you're vilified, well, Louis because something he did off stage.
Right.
Kathy that was a failed joke.
Right. It was
that was all it was.
A bad joke.
It was a bad joke. The fact that she still has lawsuits, you know, this is a comedian. She's a comedian.
Have you heard
She's not making laws that affect you. She's not putting children in cages. She's not telling trans people they can't, you know, be in the army. She's not taking health care away. She's not, you know, not passing gun laws.
The people we should be angry with, you know, and what do we do when times are tough? We laugh. You know, Chappelle has actually been really great about talking about the genre and about how we have to protect ourselves as comedians. I've been talking about in my act lately about, you know, the cancel culture and telling the audience just straight out, you know, what you guys are doing, what the world is doing is wrong, and making it funny so that they can hear it.
I mean, I hate these comparisons, but that was what happened in Germany. They did shut the comedians up immediately. You couldn't make fun of fuckface Hitler. And, you know, you look at Trump, and he has no self-awareness, which means he has no sense of humor about himself, can't even attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Right.
And it's also interesting that his cult members, if they're in the audience and you do a Trump joke, they hate you for the rest of the show. It used to be, look, we made fun of everyone.
Yeah.
Bush,
with
Clinton,
good reason.
Clinton was a fucking like a gold mine. Bush, Carter. Well, I wasn't doing stand-up, but Reagan,
Truman.
Bush. Yeah. When George Washington, I had so many great John Adams jokes.
I had a cherry tree joke that someone stole from me and did on television.
You never tell a lie. That's so funny. But I just gulped. And you know, you look at the late night, okay? White men. It's really, you know, it's annoying.
It is.
You know,
even
because
for the society is so mixed, and there's more women now, even in the workforce, and they're not being represented on late night television.
Right. We're not. It's and the fact that when you're not represented on the most powerful medium in, you know, the world, it's. I mean, as a gay, you know, how long did it take to have like an out gay person? I mean.
And then how hard it is. It shouldn't be hard to go, okay, folks, enough already. You know, here we go. This is what the world is really like.
Right. And why is it, you know, I have a whole chapter about Joan in the book because I believe she embodied freedom of speech more than anyone. And I also believe in her 5 decades of doing stand-up, you really saw, you know, what a woman's place was in society because of her jokes of each of one of those decades. You know, she starts out, you got to be pretty, I got to get married, and then it's like, I'm married, I have a kid and a husband, and you know, and then she starts talking about, you know, death, and I mean, the truth, and it's like,
and her truth,
right, and her truth, and it's not funny unless it's true. And the reason why we have these politicians who are, you know, vilifying comedians is because they are telling the truth. And they're afraid of the truth.
Yeah, it's
Right.
a fear. It's a fear behind
we speak
it. Definitely
truth to
fear.
power.
Because we're afraid of diversity, difference of opinion, and it's all fear.
That's what make
It's
America
all fear.
great again, is to try to bring it
Absolutely.
back to this negative.
where
Yeah,
I'm
and-
like, yes, Eddie, let me get you a beer and blow you.
Yeah, and
Wait a second,
and
now
if
I
they
see
don't-
the contradiction.
And if they don't
Would be
do
the
it,
worst
then they're
blowjob
going
you
to
ever
end
had.
up being like one of those communist countries that never had humor,
Right,
right?
so you
That
know-
you were even afraid to say something. Like
Right.
my grandfather, I didn't even meet him, but I was told that he was saying anecdote about Stalin, and when my grandma never saw him. That's it. We
Right.
just he disappeared. Okay, and then we knew that somebody talked on him, and that's how he got.
Right.
So this is what we want.
This is what's happening right now. And the fact that, look, we can call Trump is so immature and not funny, and his stupid he's like a fucking 2-year-old. But the fact that he lies and, in front of the Oval Office, like standing there, and the people believe him, how is that protected speech? Like, I don't understand. And yet, we do a joke. A lot of the clubs are now taking the phones, and you have to put it in a little, like the Comedy Cellar, and you have to fasten it into a bag. So I went on stage, I guess it was, I don't know, months ago they started doing this, maybe even a year. And I remember I went on stage there, and I'm having like the best set. And the audience is like, and right in the middle, I think I was doing like an hour, and right in the middle of the set, maybe 30 minutes in, okay? 35 minutes in. I look around, I go, oh my God. It's because you have no phones to, like.
You're listening, yeah.
And I almost started crying because it was like the old days where you were safe. Because look, if you're a comic, right, and you're trying out material, and you're like, how far should I go with this? You don't know how far to go unless you go over the line.
And then you
pull it
back.
back.
Yeah.
When we go over the line in our process in a comedy club, it should not be
Prosecuted,
videotaped.
yeah.
It should not be, and the fact that someone can come see you and be like, oh, I walked in, I saw, I went to OG, and Vlad was in a bad mood, and he told me to go fuck myself. Someone could write that, and people will believe that.
Well,
I mean, you can yell, these,
Yeah,
did you ever see
right.
these fucking miserable people
Well,
and
Chris
yell?
Rock was the first person to say, look, I'm working this material
Right.
out. I don't want you to record it. And that he was the one who kind of came up with the
Right.
idea of putting stuff in a bag and keeping the phones
Right,
away.
right. And it's really sad that, that us, when you think of entertainers, there's strippers, then there's comedians, right? We're
and then
really
news anchor people.
right. Welcome. So, but it's we're really, it's a spoken word thing. You have to listen, and yet no one wants to listen. No one. It's like attack mode. It's like everyone has a soapbox now where they can go, yeah, well, I got someone wrote yesterday. I don't know what the exact tweet was, but something, really, Judy? Well, I saw you be rude to a waiter at Junior's. And I wrote, I don't think I've ever been to Junior's. Like, I live in New York City. I'm not going to Junior's.
Right. You're going to OG.
I'm going to OG, man, you motherfucker. Yeah. And yet, these people, and then all of a sudden, all these people were like, I lived next door to her. She was the nicest person. I've waited on her. It's like one person. And then you have to go through
apologize or just think
and
about it.
Shouldn't apologize.
Absolutely,
we should not
absolutely.
apologize. We should not apologize.
Yeah, Vlad did something where someone wrote something in the Yelp or one of those kind of things, and Vlad was so nice to respond to this person. I don't know if you even know that because I don't think we talked about this. And he wrote a really nice thing, and then someone wrote in, "Oh, you're just kissing that person's ass," or something. It was like he was couldn't have been kinder to someone who had a concern, and someone was angry that he was being so kind. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but I want to go. We should do a reality show where we find Yelp reviews of the most miserable and go knock on their door. What's wrong?
Right.
You have 10 cats. You're a hoarder.
Well,
seriously,
I think
let's clean this up.
I think it's like dealing with hecklers. Paula Poundstone's the greatest in the world as a comic and as dealing with, and what I learned from working with her is that she took the legs out from under these hecklers and made them her best friends.
Right.
And I almost feel like I wish that we could do that to the people who are. I forgot which comedian the other day said, you know, maybe it was Adrienne Appalucci or somebody it might not be her, but she's very funny on the internet as well.
Funny.
And so someone was really mean to her, and she was like, "Well, thank you kindly."
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and then they said, "But you're supposed to be an asshole," and they're like, "Have a beautiful day."
Yeah, I do that too. I do that.
It's so great.
When they say you're a piece of like shit, I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much. I have to show this to my kids, and they're like, you know, they're stunned, you know. But what can you do? These people are miserable and they're invisible. That's the thing.
They're hiding behind stuff.
Right.
That's true. So what's next for you? I know you have the book coming out.
I have the book coming out. I have an album that's coming out.
Wow.
When is this airing?
Probably by the end of January, beginning of February.
So my album is out January 17th.
Okay.
So you can get my album. It's called Conduct Unbecoming. My last year I had an album, Kill Me Now. I'm just recording albums since apparently I don't fit the algorithm for a Netflix special. Even you know, let me tell you something.
Why? Because you're funny?
I'm funny, and I think I'm over 50.
Right.
And it's the ageism really is. It's so unbelievable. It's like, as you get older, you get funnier because you don't give a shit.
You have more life experience.
Yeah,
right.
And you don't care. It's like you can't say anything to me that I haven't heard before.
Right.
I've been humiliated. I've been lied to. You're like, fuck you.
Look at Joan Rivers. She just got funnier and funnier. Look at Don Rickles. Got funnier and funnier because you have more life experience. Not that there's no 20 and 25-year-olds who are great.
Right.
There are great ones.
Right, but
Mark
you don't know
Norman
what you're doing.
Joe List and those kind of people.
Yeah, but you don't know what you're doing. And they're not 25, they're 30-something. But
okay.
Anyway, so I went to the Museum of Broadcasting, right, to do research for the book. And I watched a Joan Rivers interview from, I think, 1989 or 1990. So she was probably about my age now.
25.
And 32.
Right.
And she was talking about, oh, they don't want me. You know, because Alan King was saying to her, you know, you must be, you're a legend. No one wants me. I'm over, you know, 40.
So she experienced the same thing.
And yet, but she is just an example of, you know, never giving up. Not fuck what you say about me. Plus, half these people who say shit to you don't have their jobs in, you know, 5 years.
That's right. You know, we met Joan together at Stand Up New York.
Right.
She was at a show that we were on. Me, Rhonda Hanson, and somebody else. And she sat with us all night.
Yeah.
After the show, and she acted like she was just one of us. She didn't act like she was so important. Years later, I'm just about to do my very first Letterman set. About 2 weeks away. I run into her in the airport.
Oh, wait, let me pitch that.
Okay.
Letterman.
And yeah, it's okay. And it's right in my plate.
Oh.
What happened was I told her I was about to do it, and she switched with someone on the plane, sat next to me, and went over my set with me and helped me with my very first Letterman set, Joan Rivers.
She was
the greatest.
First of all, she wasn't in the memoriam
right,
at
I was
the
just
Tonys.
going to say that.
Meanwhile, she was nominated for a Tony.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that even in her death, it was like she was
struggle.
But I do. Part of me thinks, you know, she did The Apprentice, right, and that gave her, you know, her career reignited. And I wonder if it was divine intervention that she died before
he became.
He became president, because she loved him. You know, she really was fond of him.
Appreciated him.
Yeah, but I don't think she would have liked the kids in cages.
All right, I don't think so. So the album's coming out. Your podcast is going great.
The album is out.
Right.
The podcast Kill Me Now, which you've done.
I did a double episode.
And I do double episodes now because I get so into. It's called Kill Me Now because I say Kill Me Now every fucking 5 minutes because I hate everyone. But I really get into your childhood and what makes you you, because I'm so fascinated by that. And then so that's doing really well, and I'm doing some live ones at Club Cumming.
Very nice.
And I don't know, my JudyGold.com, Kill Me Now, my book.
Yes, more movies, more TV shows. You've been so involved.
I'm
Dying Up Here. You were phenomenal in that.
Thank you. I am on better things this season, and yeah, I do a lot of movies.
Yeah. Well, no, you
not.
Yeah,
Okay.
you've done
And
some.
I do a lot of TV. I like TV.
Too.
But as far as
I want, since you've been on the food shows, we got you an apron.
Bless you.
Organic grill apron. So
I love you.
When you're going to cook for your kids.
I do. I cook all the time. This is beautiful, and it's
we got your
denim.
book. I hope you're going to sign it
Oh, I
for
will
me.
sign my book.
That's really great.
Yeah, we are big fans, and Eddie and me, we prepared a lot of questions. That's all going down the drain, obviously.
Yeah, we didn't go to any of that.
What do you think this means psychologically?
The book.
Freak. No, sorry.
And I also wanted to tell you thank you because I was looking at this solo show you had, My Life is a Sitcom.
Yes.
And you just remind me my childhood and my grandmother and everybody. They really talked that way. It was really, really funny.
I love that show. You know, it's called The Judy Show, My Life is a Sitcom. It was about how I grew up on sitcoms, like that they were my family. And that when I got older, I thought, I'm going to get my own sitcom. And it's all about me going through the different stages of my life and pitching it as a sitcom, and then I'm like, no. And I was like, no one's gonna care about me being a dick. And people came to that show and were like, thank you. You know, and I would do talkbacks, and people would tell me, I never saw a black person until I saw Good Times.
Right.
You know, or All
Julia,
in the Family.
you know.
Yeah. And it was just, I learned about this over these sitcoms. They were such an important part of our culture.
And you talked about late night television.
Right.
We need a female, we need people of color to
But
host
also,
these
it
shows.
used to be you did a late night set, and that was
it mattered, yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter anymore.
It
and
doesn't matter.
I hate doing,
Yeah.
You do 4 to 6 minutes, and it's like every syllable is, no, don't say and, don't say this, and you're like, oh my God, I'm so, and you never want to do that material again.
Yeah, but the one thing, it's like having the cut off your album.
Right.
You're saying, here's a cut, go get my whole album.
Right.
Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you enjoyed the food and
Oh my
gobbled
God.
up. The food
if
is
you're
great.
in New York, if you don't come here to eat, there's something really wrong with you. It's so good.
That's true. We want to thank our crew as always. They're amazing.
Thank you very much. And Sarah, thank you for all the research, for all the hard work you do. And finally, you're going to get some food.
Marcello.
Mike, Rick, Marcello.
We're happy to have everyone here.
Look how nice he is. So cute. Are you married?
I know.
Yes, his wife is amazing, and his son is the greatest.
What about his daughter?
His daughter's right here.
I know.
She
You
knows
say
how to-
that. Who gives a shit
Because
about
we
his
already
son?
yes, because I'm
Oh
helping
my
him
God,
with his.
see?
I'm helping him with his acting work.
I don't care. You talk about his daughter who's sitting here.
Yeah, there's the tea. Slava, his daughter, is behind us.
Slava, you're the best.
All right, so we got that covered. Who do we want to thank? Our friends. A shout out.
We want to say thank you to Ralph from Gas Digital. He always helps us. He always gives us
great advice.
His great advice and wisdom. And,
Get out.
And one of his favorite shows that I watch all the time and listen. Jamie Justice, thank you very much. We love you, and we hope you finally come with your daughter.
That's great. For Vlad Brinberg, for my friend Judy Gold.
Cute. I love him.
Oh yeah.
Oh guys, please subscribe.
Oh, that's the thing. Rick is.
Please subscribe and give us good reviews, right? Because we don't like bad reviews. Okay, go to What You Talk on YouTube and iTunes.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.